Welcome to Commerce Central, everybody. It is Wednesday, March the 2nd.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's wild because we're in March, and that's okay. It's been a very busy year for the Chamber already, and we have had a number of special guests with us. And today we have one of our staff with us, Hope McDow.
Hello.
I hope you cue some applause in the background.
Woo!
There.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. And Hope is our workforce development coordinator. And what's interesting about her position is it was kind of birthed out of an idea in 2019, which was a long time ago, pre-pandemic. And here's the thing, though, like it was birthed to be a full-time role, but you were already serving a part-time role. So first, Hope, tell us about yourself. How'd you get to where you are today?
Hi, well, I'm Hope McDow. How I got to where I am today, I started out, I'm a Lawrence County native. I went to Florida High School, went on to MTSU, majored in marketing.
Yep.
And worked in a couple different things. It's funny how the world works. I had done some different internships while I was in school doing retail, sales, also a TVA.
Yep.
So it was exciting. I was a communications intern there. Worked in advertising and sales for a while after I got out of college.
Yep.
Moved back to Lawrenceburg. Decided I wanted to go into education. It was funny back. I'm going to age myself a little bit, but I did some BlackBerry and Android trainings at Verizon.
Interesting.
And I realized I always thought about going into education, but I really enjoyed teaching people about how to use their devices and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, long story short, was able to do my student teaching at Lawrence County High School, was hired on full-time there that following fall, and taught for 7 years or so in the business, in CTE programs, teaching business courses such as virtual enterprise, personal finance, Microsoft Office, different things like that.
Yep.
But then through that role, I started doing some things. I was a CTE program manager is what the position was called.
Right.
So I did a lot of coordinating for tours, things for our high school students as well as our middle school students to get out and see business and industry, as well as post-secondary opportunities through TCAT, Columbia State.
Well, now it's what was really neat. So I remember you doing that kind of on a part-time basis, and we had what's called a 3-star asset-based planning program. We actually did that at the current school board office. But at the time it was Columbia State. We were in the community room there, and we had a big round table, and there were people there such as our county executive and our CTE director, our director of schools, all chamber people in business and industry. And one thing that came out of that is like, we have a really good workforce story. What if we had somebody that was full-time focused on building the bridge, or filling the gap between business and industry to make sure that what we taught in our schools was actually being used by our businesses, and also so our businesses can communicate with the schools about what they need. And then all of a sudden, in I guess what was it, July, August of it was July 2019. You land here at the chamber. So tell us about the partnership with your position. Like who makes it possible?
First off, I love my position. I'm very grateful for all these people who make this possible. So I am a school system employee, but I'm also funded through school system dollars, but our local county government and the Education Foundation.
Right.
And then the lovely chamber houses me. And also I am at our school system district office as well, but it's been a chunk of my time here at the chamber.
Yeah. So, and that's what's really cool about it is we get phone calls or emails all the time, people wondering how did we get a workforce development position? And there were very few of these across the state. I think Jackson, Madison County Chamber had one. I think Rutherford County had one. We kind of modeled the position after that. But now we're seeing across the board, even across the TVA region, people are starting to be like, okay, we need someone that communicates back and forth in a very focused way. And it kind of becomes an existing industry service. So talk about what we do in partnership with our existing businesses.
I think for me, the chamber, there are so many different things that go on here every day. That is one thing that I just love, is that each day is different. But I will say, as far as our existing business, it's a lot of conversations that are had. Hey, what's going on? What are some things that you are needing? And what for me is, I feel like I've been able to be a good connecting piece between, okay, this is your industry. This is who you need to talk to within the schools to make it more efficient, where our students are aware of opportunities here at the local level. So if they're interested in, we talk a lot about welding or different, well, we talk a lot about a lot of things, but that they know, hey, there's positions here at ADS. There's positions at Craig Manufacturing, Everest Construction. The list can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But also with that, they're completing different things within their CTE programs, but they're going into post-secondary, but they have that connection piece. We've talked a lot about that with our local hospital too.
Right.
You know, what all types of needs do they have and how to get them connected within our school system. And I think for me, I mean, there's so many different opportunities. Pre-COVID, like right when I began this position, a huge part of it was going to be tours.
Yeah.
And we still have been able to do a lot of that, especially that first, and we're gearing back into it now. But also we've do different career fairs. Used to it was, and hopefully we'll get back to it, but all in-house, you know, bring the students in, you know, bus them in there.
Right.
But we just completed a virtual career fair at Etheridge Elementary, and it was great. We had different people from all across the community speak to our students about what they do, you know, how they got there. And it was really cool. I'll tell you what I thought was the most interesting thing is not only the fact that our students got to hear that, but they were all listening to each other. So they would pop in and say, oh, yeah, I just heard so-and-so, like Ryan Evers from Evers Construction. Well, then someone from the hospital, Beth Smith, the pharmacist, said, yeah, they were just talking about this. And they were correlating to each other. And it was really cool
to see the conversation happen organically, and then the students got to see that too,
yes,
right?
Yes, they did. So it was really neat for them to talk about their experiences with, I mean, no one wants to talk about it, but student loan debt.
Yeah.
And how that you need to be thinking about that. And there's just lots of good conversations that have went on that can be beneficial to our young people.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about the challenges you see with our workforce today.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think like we were talking right before we began this about the differences in pay, you know, I mean, how, you know, people are having to pay their employees, you know, more for jobs that you normally would think of, hey, that's an entry level position.
Yeah. I
think, you know, for me, I feel like everyone I know that I've talked to, that they're like, people are working. I feel like in our county, we did a survey not long ago with our high school students, and this was the highest percentage of workers. We went from around 33% to this year it's over 40% that are out there working in some form or fashion. So I think the biggest thing for me is, when I look at it, is just making sure that we are all aware, that our young people are aware of opportunities, but also that our employees or employers are aware of all the opportunities they have in order to reach our students.
Yeah.
So for me, I think coming in from my role, I've had, I wouldn't say difficulties. The world has just been difficult, being able to do all the things. So as far as, I ran an internship program for a couple of years, and COVID kind of smashed that. Well, there's lots of things that we need to be gearing back into. So, and that's why I want to say, like, if you know, anyone out there who is interested in hosting a student in an internship, or is wanting to, you know, hopefully a teacher externship program, we will get going again.
Or host a tour of the business.
A tour,
right?
yes, a tour. Even if you want to come into the schools, if you want to do a virtual tour, if that works better for you, we have the means to, you know, to do anything that you would like to do.
And so you're the contact point for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me by
the contact information's on the screen now,
contact information, right? You will see. My email is great. Actually, I have two different types of email, but email, you know, call here at the chamber, my cell phone if you want to reach out.
Yep.
Trying to think about that.
Yeah. We'll throw your chamber email up, and then everyone can do that. So.
Okay, yeah. Just email me. I'll be glad to touch base with you, and we can get you connected in any way that we can.
Yep. So what's something that you're very passionate about right now in your job?
Oh, I would say right now, I think for me, it has been and will continue to be exposing people to different career opportunities. Because I think, you know, I had a wonderful experience. I mean, Lawrence County Schools, you know, was my home too. But I just wonder if I would have known about different types of things, how my world may have changed. But I think for me personally, I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I think, but I just want to make sure that people, and I always tell my students this, that you want to go to work every day feeling like you're not going to work.
Right.
And I've been able to do that since I've been in the school system and doing this. But I just want to make sure people are aware, because it might be at home they may not see different things. And I want to make sure that people know, hey, you know, if you want to be a vet, here it is. Or even if you're interested in something and right now you don't know how to do it, well, guess what? That's why you're in school.
Yeah.
That's why you get trained on things.
Yeah.
You don't come out of the, you know, out in the world knowing how to do everything. You have to learn. So.
Well, that's a good point to end the conversation with something we are very much known for and springing on people is the word of the day. So hope you get the word of the day, which I hope you know that's just a single word that we will then define on the bottom of the screen just to expand everyone's vocabulary.
Oh, the word of the day. I feel so important. I think for me, I'm going to go with, and I'm just going to be shocked to Ryan and Ben right now, but I'm going to go with positivity.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
I know they're going to
Big shock.
gag, but I really feel like that no matter what is going on, if you can come into something with a positive outlook, you can accomplish a lot of things. Like right before I walked in here, I thought, I'm kind of feeling a little nauseous. But then I decided this is a really neat opportunity and to finding something positive in things. So that's my word of the day.
I like it.
Perfect.
Well,
Thank you.
Good job, Hope.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week's episode of Commerce Central. Be sure to check us out next week for the next episode.